Okay, once more again, this is Learning with Mr. X. So let's proceed with the characteristics of living organisms. So we discussed some of them. Now let's continue. But basically, they are 7, so we're going to just discuss the 7 from addition of where we ended from. So we're going to start with reproduction. Very important. Reproduction is the process by which living organisms produce their young ones, which are offsprings. So there are two types of reproduction. We have sexual and asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, offsprings are produced by the fusion of the male and the female gametes from one or two parents. So sexual, it is happening from the fusion of gametes and are generally different from their parents. In asexual reproduction, the offsprings are produced from one parent without involving any gametes and are generally identical to the parents and each other. So it is like cloning. So cloning from the same one, so it is identical, just almost the same. So now let's proceed and look at excretion. Excretion is the removal of toxic metabolic wastes from the cells of the body, such as urea, excess salt, excess water, bile pigments, and carbon dioxide. So that is excretion. Then when we proceed to feeding or nutrition is the process by which living organisms obtain food. There are two types of nutrition, which are autotrophic nutrition or heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition is the type where an organism makes its own food, e.g. green plants. Heterotrophic nutrition is the type where an organism takes in food present in the bodies of others, like eating other organisms. When we eat chicken, we eat vegetables. That is heterotrophic nutrition. So, an example of heterotrophic nutrition, we can talk about holozoic nutrition, which is feeding on other organisms, which is already made food that is carried out by human beings and other animals. Then there is also another form of nutrition, which is the one carried out by decomposition of dead matter. That is what we refer to as saprophytic nutrition. Saprophytic nutrition is the feeding of dead matter, like what the rhizopus does or the leech. So now, what is irritability or sensitivity? So irritability is the ability to detect and respond to stimuli. Singular, we say stimulus. So stimuli or stimuli, this is plural. So a stimulus is any change in the environment which causes a response from an organism. Let's say, for example, when you touch a hot space or hot object, you are going to feel that it is hot and you remove your hand if it becomes too hot. So now, cells are the basic functional unit of living organisms. Some organisms are made up of single cells, e.g. bacteria. Such organisms are called unicellular organisms. Other organisms are made up of many cells, e.g. fungi, plants, and animals. Such organisms are called multicellular organisms. When we look at us, as humans, we are made up of multiple cells or many cells, hence we are referred to as multicellular organisms. Lastly, we have metabolism or metabolic reactions. So now, what do we understand by this? So in short, when we deal with the characteristics of living organisms, we just ended on irritability or sensitivity. So all this up to this point, this is what we are talking with, what we are considering to be the characteristics of living organisms. So now metabolism and metabolic reactions. So this is the sum total of chemical reactions that take place inside living cells. There are two types of metabolic reactions. Namely, we have anabolic and catabolic reactions. Anabolic reactions are metabolic reactions where large and complex molecules are synthesized from small and simple molecules, e.g., photosynthesis, protein synthesis, and synthesis of fats. Catabolic reactions are metabolic reactions where large complex molecules are broken down to simple molecules, e.g., respiration, digestion. So when we talk about anabolic, in mind we should think of building up. When we talk about catabolic, we are talking about breaking down. So all metabolic reactions are catalyzed by enzymes. So metabolic reactions are reactions that occur in living organisms. So all of them are catalyzed by an enzyme. So an enzyme is a biological catalyst, a catalyst inside a living organism. Now, what is a catalyst? A catalyst is a substance that speeds up the rate of a chemical reaction. Okay, thank you for that presentation or for attending this video up to the end. Thank you. Enjoy your day, everyone. Next time we meet, we'll continue with microscopes.